to tell you I don't know who's ahead in the women's race for all around. However, we should try to get an update on that for you by tomorrow. So here we go, Mark Tad breaking in rack number 1. All right, Mark with the ball down. Excuse me, table is open. And he basically has only 2 balls to shoot, either the 6 next to the cue ball or the 9 ball. Don't see any reason to. Well, he's going to play this 13-2 combination. And whichever group he takes, he'd have to deal with these 2 balls, so might as well do it right now. I don't think either group is one tougher than the other, so this might say a lot about whether he'll get through the rest of these or not. That was a tough shot, it really was. I mean, 13 was on the rail there, or the 2 was on the rail. It just wasn't as easy as it looked. Table's still open for Justin. But he too has but 1 ball he can shoot. And he has to be a little careful here about a possible scratch, so he's going to have to spear it. And he did that. So he's on his way with the stripes. Probably go to the 12 next. The 10 doesn't go past the 5, I don't think, in the side. It will go up here in the lower left, right by the 11 ball. It does go. Justin's played a really nice pattern here. I thought he would go to that 12 early off the 9, but because of the way the other balls were laying, he felt it was okay to leave it there probably for the last ball. The issue he's got here, of course, is he wants an angle on the 12 to bounce out for the 8, and because of where the 11 is, he's got to play pretty fine position to get that angle. He sure don't want to be straight in. So maybe 2 rails at the 8 here. No? Has he got it off the rail far enough? Or does he have to go forward with the cue ball? to pound this with center ball. And that was really well hit. So, first rack to Justin on Mark Tad's break. Justin now with an opportunity to go 2 ahead.
Justin, need a solid in one corner, stripe in the other on the back row. Thanks. No problem. Thank you.
Just had to correct the rack there to make it legal. And that is per the rules. Look at this break. The 8 never moved. That means that was a perfectly tight rack. So looks like the 13, excuse me, is the opening shot. So a little bit of congestion here to deal with. I wonder if he can make the 15 right now and draw into the 14-8. Open him up and have the 12 right there as his insurance ball. Let's see if that's what he does. Well, could have worked out a little better, but at least he's opened up the 8 ball, and he has the 9 available as his insurance. Nicely done there. 12-14-9. And that's 2 for 2 for Mr. Bergman in a race to 5 here in the 8-ball division, 22nd U.S. Bar Table, presented by CueSports International. And speaking of CueSports International, they have just recently announced, I'm sure most of you know by now, but in case you don't, that this July at the Rio, in conjunction with the BCA Pool League National 8-Ball Championships, they're going to have the US Open 8-ball and US Open 10-ball on 7-foot diamond tables.
Mark, you need opposites in the corners there. Thank you. That's good.
So yeah, it's going to be a first for professional pool. A US Open 8-ball and a US Open 10-ball championship on 7-foot diamonds. 128 player field maximums is what I've been told. I don't have really any further details yet. But those events will take place in July at the Rio, and they are Mosconi Cup points events, as are the 3 events here as well. Top 32 American finishers receive Mosconi Cup points, and those make up about I think half of the points events. The other 5 will be on 9-footers, and one of them was already held. It was the 9-ball division of the Derby City Classic. And I think the next points event on the 9-footers will be at the Super Billiards Expo, I believe, in March. And then Turning Stone is a points event for Mosconi, the US Open 9-ball. And there's one more that kind of escapes me right at the moment. Maybe there's 2 Turning Stones this year. I know they only had one last year due to some construction up there at the facility in New York. But anyway, still quite a ways to go before those are finalized. I believe the way it's going to work is the top 3 point finishers will be awarded automatic spots on the team, and then the final 2 will be wildcard picks. Most likely between the decision will come from Matchroom Sport and the team captain, Mark Wilson. So pretty exciting again this year. You can earn your way onto the team, and that's why all these events are carrying a little extra importance for some of these guys. Shot there by Mark. He did that so he could hold the cue ball. He really didn't need to move the 8, but what he did need to do is not let the cue ball go. Come a little bit bad on that. He thought he'd hit the 3 a little fuller than that. Now he's going to probably have to shoot the 7. And watch out running into stuff over there like the 8 or the 9. All right, now he's got to really follow this ball. Just a high ball, no English here. Just past the side pocket, it'll be fine. That's good enough. Nice out by Mark Tad, 2-1 in his favor, and Justin will break here in game number 4. If you weren't with us earlier this afternoon, you missed it. And I'm sure it's going to come as a great surprise to all of you that Shane Van Boning is the 9-ball champion for the 3rd year in a row. And his 4th overall, matching his current performance at US Open 9-ball championships, where he won his third in a row this year, or just this past October, to go along with his initial victory in 2007. So he is now a 4-time U.S. Open 9-ball champion and a 4-time U.S. bar table 9-ball champion. He's got a couple of 10-ball titles here at the USBTC, 3 all-around titles, but no 8-ball titles. And it's arguably his best game on a bar table. And I know it means quite a bit to him to add that to his resume. So he's going to be gunning for this one as well. And he's well on his way to his 4th all-around title. And also congratulations to Liz Lovely, who became the women's 9-ball champion this afternoon as well. And Liz also is an 8-ball champion. She is the defending women's 8-ball champion, by the way. So she has a chance to go for 2 in a row there, and 2 crowns this week. Look at this gaggle of balls all in one area of the table. First look, you'd prefer the stripes, and he certainly will do that. Might have to wind up playing a 14-12 combination. Maybe that's the 15, but I don't see any other way to get that ball next to the 5-ball out of there other than playing the combination, and that's what he's looking at right now. And he can certainly get very good on it. He might even, yeah, I think he'll shoot it next. I thought maybe he'd stopped, get the 9 out of there, but I think this just lays too perfect. Although, if he's straight enough on the 9, he might take it out right now. But he's real good on the 15-12. But I kind of like the 9 because then you can work all up here on your last 3 balls and wind up with a shot on the 8, probably in the side. Trying to decide what kind of angle he wants on the 10 to go to the 8, because he may want to go around the 3 and play the 8 in the same pocket that these 2 stripes are going in, if he does that, or at least what this stripe is going in. Now it's going to be the 8 in the side. I don't think he can get where he could play it in the same pocket. This makes me nervous. I wouldn't shoot the 8 with the magic rack there. I mean, it probably won't affect it, but I guess the guys are used to doing that. Just makes me nervous. So 3-1 for Justin. Okay, folks, it's time to play Bar Box Trivia. Got one more question here to throw out at you. And hopefully I got the right answer to this one. But all right, here you go. Who was the first? Now this is, I'm going to give you a little hint. This dates back to pre-10-ball. This is when the U.S. bar table was comprised of only 8-ball and 9-ball. So it's prior to 2008. So prior to 2008, who was the first player to win both the 8-ball and 9-ball divisions in the same year? And I'll give you this rack to think about it, and I will tell you at the end of the rack. It took place at the Sands, and I believe it was in the 2000s. So that might give you a little hint. It very well could have been like 99 or 2000, but it's somewhere around that time. And Mark sends the cue ball right into the side pocket, and that is going to be probably fatal, at least for this rack. Justin has ball in anywhere, yeah. And with ball in hand anywhere, if he wants the stripes, the 9 ball should be the first shot. And I think that's what he's going to do. He'll take care of the 9, and then maybe the 12, and the 4 and 13 and 14 down there in that half of the table, and then come up and get the 3 stripes that are behind the 8. He would have liked to have come another 3 inches or so. But I think he's going to go over and back here and then play the 13. What he's got to be careful of here, if he's going to play the 14 ball next, which is what he's looking at, he's going to have the right angle to get down here, because the 15, which is the ball between the 10 and the 11, it doesn't go in either corner pocket. That was well done right there, because now he's got the right angle. This is like the Z shot here, short, long rail, and then I'm going to guess maybe in between the 15 and 10. Or that'll work. I couldn't tell that the 11 would go from there. Just like that, it's going to be Justin Bergman on the hill. You know, the match with Jason Shaw and Saez took maybe 21 minutes. And this one here is just approaching about that same amount of time. And you could combine both those matches, and they still took less time than that one game that Dan Louis played with Jeremy Saucy. What a game that was. OB is the official cue of the U.S. Bar Table Championships, and Kamui is the official tip also of the U.S. Bar Table Championships, along with our official host and sponsor, the Grand Sierra Resort. So thank you very much for your loyalty and dedication to this great event that continues to grow and grow and grow. And probably 15 of the top 20 players in the world aren't here this week because of the Pacquiao World 10 ball event and the Chinese 8-ball event that took place just prior to it. But we're sure we'll see most of those guys next year if there's no scheduling conflicts. Dry break. So Mark with one more opportunity here. Sort of like the solids. start with the 1. Once the 2's gone, the 3 passes. The only ball that's a little sticky really is the 5. Nice shape there for the 6. Now I'll float forward and play the 5 next. Can you go twice across here, or is he just going to stay right there and play the 3 on the side? That's all right. Nice out by Mark Tad. And this will make the score 4-2. And it does. And Mark will have an opportunity to break to get to 4-3. Okay, time for the answer to the trivia question. But before I give the answer, I'm going to kind of cover my own butt here and just tell you that all these questions that I've come up with here are all from my memory, which is not what it quite used to be. And, you know, I've already been caught once by Brian Butler on my Canadian question, but I'm going to give you the answer that I believe is correct. I'm sure if I'm not, someone's going to tell me. But the question was, when the US bar table was comprised of only 8-ball and 9-ball, who was the first player to win both divisions in 1 year? And the answer is Cliff Joyner. Make sure Mark flips his score bead behind him. It's showing 4-1. It is 4-2.
Trade your score, Mark.
All right, what's Mr. Bergman have? I think he's got solids all day here. The 5 goes in the lower left corner. It actually goes even with the 2-ball there. But he doesn't seem to be pleased with where he is. I don't know if he was trying to get somewhere else. see anything that's going to prevent him from completing the out. Want to get to 7 next, maybe. And you can be sure the 6 and 3 should be the last 2 balls before the 8. Either ball will get him to the 8, and really won't matter which order he plays, 3-6 or 6-3. And should he complete this, he will win the match. Just smooth this one in with a little draw. And just like that, we have a winner. Good work by Justin Bergman, 5-2. And we are close to an hour from our next scheduled match. It'll be our last streaming match of the evening at 10 o'clock. At this time, I'm not sure we're going to have any commentary on it, but we will have it for you. And there's actually going to be another round played after that that will not be streamed, but there is an 11:30 round scheduled here as well. And that's just because the size of the fields have dictated that that's necessary, or the other option that the tournament direction staff was talking about was going to have to be bringing the players back for a 9 a.m. start tomorrow. And pretty much all the players would much rather play late in the evening than that early in the morning. So the decision's been made to run an 11:30 round tonight. But our last stream, good job.